Hey Dee, it's Miss Lindsay. I'm going to show you how to use a box model for division, and it's called Does McDonald's Serve Cheeseburgers? And what every one of these stands for is divide. The M stands for multiply. The S stands for subtract. The C stands for check, and the B stands for bring it up. And I'm going to walk you through each step of how this happens. Now, if you'll notice, this is our dividend. That's the number we're going to break up. So we can think about this in real world. If our families went to Chick-fil-A and we spent $56 and we divided it between two families. So that's what we're going to focus on, is knowing this is our dividend, this is the amount being broken up, and this is our divisor, or the number of people or things or places that we're splitting our amount into. So the way this works is our box model is going to have the number of boxes for the digits in our dividends. So our dividend has 2 digits. We're going to go ahead and we're going to place that number near the edge, 1 digit in each of our boxes. We're going to place our divisor on the left. And before we get started, we're going to make a factor chart for our divisor. We know that 1 times 2 is 2. And we know that 2 times 2 is 4. And we know that 3 times 2 is 6. We know that 4 times 2 is 8. And 5 times 2 is 10. Now, as those numbers get harder, that factor tree is going to be really important, and that'll help you with fractions along the way when you're finding greatest common factors later in the year. So that's just a good habit to get into, because if you didn't know, division is a fraction, which is kind of cool. So now we're going to actually do the steps. Step 1 told us to divide. So we're going to ask ourselves how many groups of 2 would go into 5 without going over. If we didn't know, we would go over to our factor tree and see that if we went to 3, it would be too many, and if we stay at 2, it'll be just right. So we're going to say 2. Next step is to multiply. We're going to multiply this number times our divisor, 2 times 2, and that gives us 4. Then we're going to subtract. Does McDonald's serve subtract? 5 minus 4 is 1. You see that one? We're going to check it. And what that means is we're going to ask ourselves, is the remainder less than the divisor? Is 1 less than 2? And the answer is yes, so it checks. So then we can bring it up. What we're going to do is bring it over, always put it in front of the number in this box, because we know that's real. This is the tens place. We know that we have 1 10 left, so we know that that would be 10 ones, and it would make 16. So that works. That's why it really does work. So let's go over. Our factor chart doesn't go this high. 2 times what, or 2 times how many groups would get us 16? That's 8. And we just divided. Now we're going to multiply for McDonald's. 8 times 2 gives us 16. Then we're going to serve, subtract. 16 minus 16 leaves us with 0. Then we're going to check. Is the remainder less than the divisor? And the answer was yes. In this case, if we had a remainder, let's say that was 1. We would bring it up by putting R1 for remainder 1. And our quotient, or our answer to our division problem, is always found at the top. And in this case, our answer is 28. And you can remember this box method by Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring it up. I hope this helps you. Let me know if I can come see you at your house one day, and I'll give Mama a handout that also has all the instructions, and I hope it helps make division a little bit easier.